So in today's video, if you're an online coach, I'm going to show you exactly how you can get from zero to making 100K in a single year with a super simple sales funnel. This sales funnel I've actually been using myself, and many of my coaching clients have been using as well, and have found actually great success. What I love the most about it is the fact that there's no complicated shit. There's no things you need to do and customer journeys along the way or anything like that. It is super simple 4-step process that I'm going to show you. So with that being said, let's get started. So this is the first part of the sales funnel, okay? The first part of the sales funnel is leads, okay? I'm just going to draw a nice square box so we can show. In other words, where do we get our leads from, okay? And there are many ways. So for example, we can get them from social media. Now, with social media, you have to think about who is your target audience going to be. So let's say, for example, you are a fitness coach, okay? The vast majority of your audience is probably going to be on YouTube or potentially on Instagram, and maybe some of it is going to be on TikTok. Let's say you're going to be a career coach or a CEO coach or something like that. Then maybe LinkedIn and Twitter is going to be a little bit better for you. But for example, a lot of people completely discount such things such as Snapchat or TikTok. However, I do have a client who currently right now helps children with their GCSE English, and the vast majority of her leads actually come from TikTok because that is the platform that most people in that age demographic uses. When it comes to social media, make sure you choose the platform where majority of your audience actually shows up. 9 times out of 10, most of the time, the most useful platform in my case at least is going to be YouTube, at least being one of them, and then you can choose another one as well. But that's just one way of getting leads. Another way of getting leads that I found very useful that a lot of people completely discount is actually referrals. Now, I said it before and I'll say it again. If you have a coaching client and they are very happy with your work, there is nothing stopping you from you saying, hey, I love how much progress we've achieved. Do you know of anybody else that we can potentially help out? Now, if you do find me someone and you can bring them on and actually come on, join on board, then you can get 25% of the value that they have sent to us, and 25% of the payment is going to go to you. When you give people a monetary incentive to find clients for you, you will have a lot more success, okay? A lot of coaches these days, in my opinion, are just a bit too greedy, trying to keep all of the profit within the house. But sometimes 50% of something is much better than 100% of nothing, okay? So that's next. Then what I'll say you do also is making sure to go to networking events. Okay, so say for example, networking events, you know what it is. Basically, say for example, you are targeting CEOs. Well, it makes sense for you to go to networking events that, where other CEOs show up, because best way of selling to people, best way of convening your reputation, your knowledge, is actually having a face-to-face conversation. Now, I understand a lot of people are very interested in doing Google Meets or Zoom calls or something like that. However, good old-fashioned face-to-face networking is still proven to be more successful than pretty much anything else, okay? Now, another one is called outreach, okay? So if you're one of those people that have literally got nothing, not a single client right now, there are only 2 things that you should be doing with every single day, and that is posting content on your social media platforms, the ones that have got the most amount of clients that is in your demographic, and doing cold outreach as much as possible. Meaning, people that have done liked your comment, people that have followed you, people that have commented on some of your videos, people that have DM'd you, you should be speaking to them, and you should make sure that you push them onto the next part of the stage of your sales funnel, essentially, which can be either getting an email from them or potentially booking them straight away onto a call. In the very beginning, those first 5 clients will most likely come from these 2 places, is by social media and by cold outreach. Then from those 5 clients, you can actually start getting referrals, and if you have extra time, you can start going into networking events and actually speaking to these people, saying, hey, I've helped with X, Y, and Z with this person, I'm sure I can help you with as well. Then another way is actually getting partnerships, okay? What I mean by that is really simple, and that is finding a similar business to yours and, helping each other out. So for example, I have a coaching client right now who's a bridal coach, and she basically helps brides get into their best shape of their life before their big wedding day. And what she has done is she said, hey, to all of the wedding facilities, venues out there, said, hey, can you please promote my services, and I will make sure to push your wedding venue for our clients. She went to the florist as well and said, hey, I will make sure to recommend your services to my clients if you can do vice versa as well. She also has spoken to wedding planners as well. So for example, if the bride wants to lose a little bit of weight and stuff, the wedding planner will give her details and get her into contact. And this kind of works very, very similar like referrals as well, which gives like affiliate commission, anything between 10 to 30%, depending on the value of the deal. But once again, if you have a very, very specific niche, okay, that you are in, think about what other businesses have those customers that you have that you can potentially partner up with. This can be a very, very powerful tool for your business very, very quickly if done correctly, okay? So that is the first part of the process of the sales funnel, essentially. The second part of the sales funnel, and there are 4 here, by the way. Second one is a value. Okay, now what do I mean by that? Well, value is very, very simple. Is when you get people from social media, they may like your content, but they don't really trust you or know you that much. You haven't built up enough goodwill, enough credibility for them to take you seriously. So the next thing you need to do is essentially give them something of value. Give them something that they might find useful. So for example, I have done very, very recently a video about basically various sound effects that you can use for your social media to make your videos a little bit more catchy, a little bit more engaging. And at the end I said, hey, if you DM the word SFX, which basically stands for sound effects, I will give you an asset pack of all of the sound effects that my editor uses for our videos. And that got us 300 people messaging me saying, hey, can we please get this because we would really like it and it's really, really useful. Okay. Another thing that you could do is an email sequence. Okay. And this I am currently using as of right now, and we have over 5,000 people in our email subscriber list. And basically what for me in my case is I'm giving people 30 tips in 30 days on how to increase their coaching offer to £25,000 per month. Okay, and basically in that email sequence, every single day you would get an email of some valuable tip that people may find of use. Okay, now you can also have some sort of asset packs as well. Okay, so let's say you're like a gamer, coach, or something else. I can't think off the top of my head right now, but anything that you have collated that you want to give off value for free that a lot of other people would find really, really useful, you might as well do that. All of these 3 things, and there's many, many more, okay? The whole point of them is to actually get emails from you. Okay, it's basically getting that personal information, because getting people on social media is a very, very crowded room. 1 minute they'll remember you, the next minute you're completely forgotten. However, if you get your customers' emails, now you have a direct way to communicate with them. It's the next best thing past the phone number, to be completely honest. And if you ever want to reach out to them and you have a potential new offer, emails is the best way of actually reaching out to all of your potential customers. Okay, now what I do want to highlight is please, please, please don't do any PDFs. Please don't do any guides. Please don't do any valuable tips or steps or something like that all in one email. And the reason why is because with the help of ChatGPT right now, these things are no longer valuable. Okay, if I can potentially figure out what you're going to send me with a ChatGPT prompt within 5 seconds, I'll probably get it faster than you can send it to me. Then what you're sending to me is not valuable at all. And if you send something that is not valuable in this sales funnel, then they're not going to appreciate you, they're not going to like what you have, and they're definitely not going to go to the next stage. And the next stage is sell. Okay, on the selling side, it's really, really simple. If your offer is essentially under $999, okay, and I'll put that in, less than $999, you can put that offer straight away without any sort of sales calls or anything like that, because people can make like relatively quick decisions and decide whether or not they want to work with you or not if the offer is under $999. If it's over $999, then most people will need something called a sales call. The way I see it is I don't actually like to call it as a sales call because people don't really like being sold to, but what I do call it is a consultation call. Okay, so first of all is to figure out exactly, are they good for the program? Are they going to be, find the program useful? Are they going to be coachable? Are they going to be somebody that I really want to work with as well? Because some people can be really bad customers no matter how much money they pay you. And it's just a consultation call to figure out whether we are both a good fit, okay? Sometimes we're a good fit, sometimes we're not, okay? But if you're going to charge your customers potentially over $1,000, you have to make sure that you have the time and the effort to actually speak to these people and basically give them all the information they need in order to get them to buy from you. Now, in the very beginning, this part is going to be done exactly by you because you are going to be closing the best, since your face is all over social media and they are bought into your services. However, later down the line, once you're making over 10, 15, 20,000 each and every single month, you can have people like appointment setters and closers to do all of this selling for you, okay? On top of that as well, when it comes to selling, there's a couple of things that I would like to highlight. Now, the very first one is the fact that you want to really show and increase the amount of value, the perceived value that you give. So on the consultation call, you really want to show how much knowledge you have, how exactly you have helped other people that are just like them, and basically increase the perceived value of the offer that you have. But also on the same time, you also maximize the potential pain that they may experience if they don't go with you. So for example, when I was teaching about how to sell on Amazon FBA and I jumped on some of these calls, what I used to say to my potential clients saying, hey, for 2.5 years, I was making a mistake after mistake after mistake that made me lose quite a lot of money until I finally figured that out, okay? So if you jump on our program, onto our one-to-one coaching right now, yes, it may sound like a lot of money, but you will not only stop making those mistakes that I have made, but also you're going to speed up your process so much faster and you'll make money a lot faster as well. Just like Charlie Morgan once said, it's great learning from your mistakes, but it's even better learning from other people's mistakes, okay? Now we have sell, and last but not least, so imagine this, last but not least, we have deliver. This is what a lot of people don't really focus on. They feel like, okay, if I get the leads, if I give them value, and if I sell, essentially the job is done. And this is why the coaching space sometimes can get a relatively bad reputation because, well, what about the delivery of the services? Okay, delivery of the services, matter of fact, in my opinion, is actually the most important part, because then delivery of the services can get you more referrals, can get you more networking, can get you more good reputation, and so on and so forth. But if you're just focusing on just getting the sale, and once sale is done, your job is over, you will run a very, very difficult business to sustain, because you will always consistently have to work difficult and hard to get those new clients. But if you consider delivering on your services, then you will get better reputation, more people will know about you, more people will start speaking about you, and more people will come to you and go through this journey a lot faster and a lot easier. This is exactly what happened with myself with Amazon FBA. The first 2 years, it was really, really difficult because nobody knew who I was, nobody believed me, nobody trusted me. But however, once people started making money off the back of my courses and my coaching programs, all of a sudden the word started to spread, and some of those sales calls were very, very easy, to the point where people jumped on a call and were ready to buy literally within minutes, because I was recommended to them by somebody else who have found a lot of value in what I was selling. So what I want you to do when it comes to like delivering on your services, number one, reducing the buyer's remorse. So if you do end up selling something over, let's say $2,000-$3,000, you want to give them something to do straight away. The last thing you want to do is take the money and then get them to wait for a few days, increasing that buyer's remorse. Number two is you also want to make sure that you are keeping them accountable every step of the way. Don't lose the communication. So you probably spent a lot of time and effort getting them and speaking to them and staying in touch with them, and then once all of a sudden you have got the money, essentially now the communication starts to wear off, and that's not how it should be. That's not a sign of a good coach. You want to, if anything, start to increase the communication. You want to show how excited you are. They finally made the best decision that they could ever possibly make, and watch how we're going to attain those results together. That's how you reduce your refund rates. That's how you reduce your potential bad reviews and bad customer feedback. And you're literally just going to run a much, much better business overall. Matter of fact, I'd go as far as say this, is that even if you're not the best coach in the world, but the client can clearly see that you really care about their success and you really care about their progress, they are much more likely to let a few things slide, because guess what? We're all human and we all sometimes make mistakes, right? So these are the 4 key stages of the sales funnel. You start with the leads. Don't be lazy. Do cold outreach and sell social media. You move on to value by providing the actual valuable stuff that people would find useful, who are your target audience. You get them onto a sales call and you explain exactly what your service is about, how good of a coach are you, and whether or not you are the right fit for them. And then you make sure to deliver on your promise and stay in touch with your clients pretty much on a daily, if not weekly basis, to make sure that they get the best possible chance of achieving the results that you promised them. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.